The Dead Eyes of a Killer by Star Trek Scott. I've posted it here before. This is another encounter I had when I was young. Many years ago I went to school in Paisley, Scotland. I used to walk there and back. It was about a half an hour journey on foot, and sometimes I would see strange people wandering to and from various places on the way to school. Obviously, being a kid, I would avoid such people at all costs and would walk with friends where possible. I remember vaguely when Laura Donnelly went missing. She was a young woman who worked in a video store in town. I used to hear about news when my parents would discuss it. As the case progressed, I would hear them talking about the fact that she was found murdered, and how the police would be carrying out DNA tests on people in town. I remember one night, doing dishes in the kitchen, looking out into the darkness of the garden, wondering if the murderer was still out there. I used to think about it on the walk to school as well. My friends and I would discuss it. This was a long time ago, so I can't remember the exact time frame, but it was during the time that the police were carrying out their investigations. I don't think they had found the culprit yet, because when that happened, there was a manhunt. I was walking to school myself on that particular day, which is unfortunate, but not lethal, thankfully. As I walked along, I saw a man in dark clothing with a pockmarked face coming toward me in the opposite direction. Something about him set my gut off, and I stopped to try and cross the road. The traffic was really busy and I couldn't get across, so I gave up on that and awkwardly turned to continue walking as the man got closer. As we were about to pass one another, he locked eyes with me and I with him, and I felt my stomach doing flips in a bad way. There was something haunting about his expression and his dead eyes. He didn't look healthy or like he took care of himself at all. Time seemed to slow down as we passed, and soon as he was past me, I quickened my pace. After a few minutes, I turned my head to look, and he was way off, not looking back at me. As I finished my walk to school, I thought about the guy and how he looked. He was quite distinctive, and the image of his face stayed with me. I told my friends about it, and they all commented that he was probably a bit of a freak, based on my description. Pretty simplistic teenage reasoning. Turns out my gut was right, though. Both to my horror, I recognized the face when he was on the news said the killer of Laura had been identified. I felt ill when I realized I had been within a few feet of a man who had horrifically murdered and raped a woman in cold blood. It was even more terrifying because he had yet to be caught at this stage, unless I'm remembering this wrong. I may have simply been scared that the killer was still on the loose, and my memories are connecting events. Whatever the case, I locked eyes with the dead gaze of a killer, and I won't forget it. Murderer, let's not meet again.